Hey everyone, you're listening to Let's Write an Episode. Happy New Year. This is the podcast dedicated to writing new fake episodes of old TV shows. I'm Tommy Oler. Last week we performed an episode of The Brady Bunch for you. Today you'll get to hear us come up with the episode. Joining me this time around to help write the thing are Sara, Kaye, Larson, and Bridgette Wallace. Bridgette, you'll remember, played Marcia in last week's episode. Sara Kaye played Jan. Sara is also a writer, producer, and comedian out of Memphis. These two awesome people helped to create an absolutely weird fake episode of The Brady Bunch that I'm so glad we put out. But enough of me, let's get to it. Here we are writing our very own Brady Bunch.
I feel like,
effed up.
yeah, because
You become the fattest person on
it's
the
the
earth,
worst.
and you just start smelling bad.
yeah, because
I mean,
I
not
started,
me. I hear
started
this.
my period today, and
I was gonna.
I was, you bitch. But no,
Yeah.
because like
Didn't
I
need to tell
noticed
us.
because I was just like, man, my deodorant is not holding up today. Like I was sweaty anyway, and I looked in the mirror. I'm like, God, I'm fucking oily.
You're
And then
glistening.
it just happens. I
Glistening.
started my period. I was like, ah, yes,
And you are...
complete garbage. Hi, I'm Bridgette Wallace.
Yes.
Hey, and I'm Sara Kaye Larson.
And we're going to write an episode of The Brady Bunch. Huh?
Woo!
Woo.
Yes.
There we go.
It's close to home.
We're the
That's
lovely
good.
ladies.
Okay, so you guys ready to write an episode of Brady Bunch?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, super
You feel
prepared.
really far away. Can you scoot up at all?
No.
Oh, okay. Hi,
It's a good
Tommy.
thing. I know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing this is not in film. We're like, Tommy's in the other room.
Yeah, we don't want to be close to him at all.
Well, I just all these chords and then this thing right here and then this over here. I'm more comfortable over here.
Okay.
Just to look at us as if we're objects, huh?
No, it's
So you
just
can watch us.
On election day of all
it's
days.
not
God.
it's not that. So yeah, I have an idea that Bridgette actually like helped me out with for this because I'm obsessed with the Jan episodes. I really like the episodes that have Jan in them or Jan centric because she's the most interesting character. She always, if there's an issue with her, there's an issue with the entire family.
I mean, she's the only really flawed character in the whole thing, so of course she's interesting. She actually is like three-dimensional, as everyone else is just like, I'm the cute one, I'm the
Yeah.
pretty one, I'm the mom, I'm the dad.
Yeah.
And Jan is like, I'm a fuck up.
Yeah, she's like the emo band in the house.
She is.
She
I like her a lot. And
Yeah.
so the idea that, because I was talking to Bridgette and I said, what is the most embarrassing thing that can happen to you in school? And Bridgette said, you fart in class and that's when you start your period. And then I feel
Like,
like,
have you ever? Okay,
You just double dutied that.
I know,
Yeah,
because have you
that's
ever just
good.
like, you have your period and then like, you've ever coughed and like you feel it like come out a little bit more and you're just like, oh God.
What if I was like, no, never?
I would be like, okay,
No, I've
well,
never-
I guess
what
I'll
is this
go kill
period?
myself. Like, but yeah, so
Yeah.
I decided like, okay, well, starting your period in class, like your first period is already awful.
Yeah.
But what if she farts first and then blood comes down the back of her pants as if she's like maybe she's writing on the board an answer for something
Right.
and she farts and then the back of her pants turn bright red. I think that would just probably
Yeah,
be
any
the worst
bodily
thing
function
ever.
thing is super like the ultimate embarrassing when you're Jan's age.
yeah.
So you're writing like when we're thinking
Mhm.
high school.
Yeah. She's in front of
Okay.
the class. She's doing some in front of the class. And she does that. And I feel like the big goal for her is to want to leave. Because Jan, anytime she comes across something that like is emotionally troubling, it's hard for everyone. And we just saw one where she's not good at anything. And the opening of the episode is her just messing up in ballet class. She's constantly messing up in ballet class. She comes home after ballet, after not being put in the recital. They're like, you didn't get in the recital. She's like, that's fine. I'm not good at anything, and I'm not coming back to ballet class. She just tells the teacher that.
Right.
She walks home. Her brothers are playing ping pong. The ping pong ball falls on the ground. They're like, hey, Jan, can you pick that up? And she just steps on the ping pong ball and crushes it. And that,
That's
She keeps
fucking
walking.
awesome.
I
She's
know.
just a cold
That's
blooded
hilarious.
bitch.
the greatest shot ever's already
Yeah,
taken.
I know,
So why are we
like,
trying
they're
to
like,
do anything?
"Yes." And her attitude just affects the whole entire house. And I just think it would be great if she has this really embarrassing moment in front of the class and she's like, I need to leave. I'm running away.
Right.
And that just sends everyone to like, oh gosh, we got to keep Jan from running away. Then she actually does run away, and now they got to go look for her. And I feel like if we make this like a story of like maybe, like Jan going out, like
You can tell I'm already ready to interrupt you.
yeah,
I'm just going to tell you what it made me think of.
yeah, go ahead.
Do you guys watch The Americans?
Yes.
So
love
where they
that
have to
show.
extract an agent, and it's like a big fucking deal.
Mhm.
Because it could also, another route you could go is the whole family, like a bunch of shit goes wrong, and they're just trying to extract Jan from school with her bloody pants.
Oh, okay. So this all takes place in like a day.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do not watch The Americans. So what do you mean by extract?
Well, it's secret spy stuff, but so they'll be like they're like deep cover Soviet agents. Like you wouldn't know right now.
I saw Tommy watch
You
a
wouldn't
little
know
bit. so,
Tommy
like,
could be one.
He totally could. That's the whole disguise.
Yeah.
It's an amazing wig, by the way,
Yeah.
Tommy.
Thank you.
Seriously.
But
he's got
so-
Soviet hair under there. Like you don't know. You do not know. And so there's like a agent in Chicago, but it's like crazy dangerous because the feds are like surrounding them, and they have to go through all of these disguises and these different techniques, like swapping cars, just to get. They do it in a way where they're like, well, we know he's going to be crossing these streets at this certain time, and they'll have like a mail truck crash into something.
I know that part.
mean-
but what do they mean?
Oh,
What do
you
you
like
mean by
too much
by
information.
extract?
They just got to grab somebody,
Okay.
get him out. Get 'em
Okay,
out.
so they have to get Jan out.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
get Jan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be like the whole family had to come together,
Yeah.
and like things could like not work.
I would love it
Along
if
the
the
way.
family did not want to be with her at all in this.
So
Or that.
Yeah. So they're
Anyway,
they're
just,
yeah. So we've got two ideas here. So we can like have the family have to come together to get her out of school,
hmm
or
But they could be separate though too. They could all form factions and not know that each other's trying to get.
I would try to get Jan out.
Yeah, like the parents and the boys.
Or Jan can be so embarrassed. Because there's the other idea, like Jan can be so embarrassed that when she tells people, like, because you know how when they always tell their parents like everything,
Right.
You know,
As we all do
and
in high school.
and I would love to have a moment where the parents, yeah, make sure that's up there. Yeah, that's where Jan comes and tells them what happened, and they go like, oh.
Imagine
Yeah, that's bad. We can't help you with that. Like,
is
we
just
can't.
like-
Because
Sorry.
it's period. They're
Mom.
like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
no.
They're
No.
like, Jan, what's wrong? Mom, Dad, I farted and then I got my period.
I got my
That's-
first period.
Because the one of the things about it is just like, okay, like let's be honest, your period, it's fucking gross. You feel gross, and it's literally just chunky blood.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I don't care what anybody says. Like, oh, don't shame bodies. It's not what I'm doing. Fact is, period blood is gross. It's gross, and so then you're farting. So you have this poop gas
Oh no.
and this chunky blood
Oh, yeah.
coming out at the same time. That's
Jan.
awful.
And obviously Jan
awful.
is extremely heavy flow, and it's just
Oh,
blast.
It's day one. It's day one. She didn't know.
Yeah,
didn't
day
know.
one.
She
It's
didn't
day
know.
one.
It's just like the doors and the
She
shining
thinks she's
just
got to get
opening
extracted
and
before day
just-
two happens.
I love
like, oh no.
I love that it's day one.
Oh,
like
no.
it's after an apocalypse.
Yeah.
Day one.
Yeah, totally.
It's like taking a plan B. It's just like God
So
shooting it out.
so I think she comes to her parents, and they're like, yeah, we don't know. That's bad. We don't know what you can do. She runs away,
No,
and
no,
then
no. Can we have her go to her siblings for help? Like Mom and Dad said they can't help me, but you'll help me, right, Marcia? And Marcia's just like, ooh, yikes.
Yeah.
Because Marcia's like,
Actually,
I never fart or have a period.
yeah. How about Marcia has never had a period
What's
Yeah.
the period?
and has never
Yeah.
farted? Yeah,
Yeah.
she's never done either of those.
She's straight
I
Barbie
would
doll.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she doesn't have in
have
the
a
lower
vagina.
half.
That would
She
be
doesn't have a
great.
butthole. Yeah, she just
Yeah.
That would
she
be
legit
great.
doesn't poop.
She's like, Jan goes to Marcia and B's like, and she tells her, I farted and I started my period during that. And then Marcia's like, 2 questions. What's farted and what's started your period?
And then she tells her, and she's like, "That's gross.
Yeah.
You should leave."
And,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
Cindy's over
So
there like,
mean.
that's growth.
Gross.
I forgot about Cindy. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have to reference. Cindy.
So
Jan.
So I think Jan's motivation is she wants to run away and hide. Like
She found a
that.
fake beard at some point.
That
I
is
really
well. Let's just wait a second. So
Slow your
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I'm
Yeah.
excited about
You're
it.
like, I
Let's
know
not
what's
get
gonna
ahead of
happen.
ourselves
Yeah.
here. Jane is comfortable. She's in class. She's just having a normal day. Let's say it's also Monday. You know,
Day
Monday.
one.
it's the start of the week.
Yeah.
She should be having like a really good day. She should be having a great day. Like
A boy looked
she
at her.
feels boy looks at her like they like in the way they're like, oh, I would like to take her out. She knows the answer to this problem, and she's the only one in class, and
Yeah.
she's so excited, and her professor's so proud of her.
Yes.
And she gets
Uh-huh.
up there and does this
Yeah.
awful, disgusting.
And I imagine the way Jan walks to the board is she does that thing like that girls did who have long hair, where their hair just swings back and forth whenever they
swishing.
walk. They're
Her
Yeah,
her
the
they're
shoulders are rolled
they're
back.
swishing. She
Yes.
swishes her hair as
Fluffing
she
her
walks up there. She goes up there, does the thing. She fart periods all over herself, and then
I'm getting uncomfortable.
and that's what starts her want. She wants to leave town entirely. I feel like she
Yes.
just needs.
Okay, so she's gonna go on the lake.
She needs to get out. She
Okay.
wants to leave, but I feel like the thing is though is like she has to come. I think she has to come home embarrassed, and then talk to her parents, and that's whenever she's like, "All right, I'm
That's
leaving."
when she makes her decision.
She gets
I'm
rejected
leaving.
by
Yeah,
Marcia, her parents.
Marcia and
she
her
can't
parents.
even bring it up to her brother.
Yeah. Marcia and her parents are done for. Her brothers don't know what's going on.
She
You're
looks
right,
at them
because she
for a
can't bring it.
second, and then she'd be like, "No."
Yeah.
She'd be like,
Keeps
oh, it's
walking.
the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
And she bounces, and she's left the house, and now we've got her in this like unfamiliar territory.
It's
Now
like Judgment Day,
She's
the
in-
movie.
she's
a Yeah.
She goes to
runaway
Chicago.
teen.
she
Yeah.
just
Everything's a movie reference.
she just gets out, and now this is where I think we can incorporate the Americans idea, like where we don't extract her from school, but now it's like, all right, we've got to. Where's Jan? We've got to find Jan. We've got to get her back home.
Right, and she's like, so this stretches over time. Like she has to like work at a donut shop for a couple
Who-
weeks.
I don't
or
know.
she,
We
like-
can-
I wanted
we-
to join a cult, honestly.
We can.
Well,
Oh
you know
my
what's
gosh.
funny is that one of the I figured you would already had an idea. This is a tangent,
Yeah.
but I was like, it would be cool. A cool episode would be if a bunch of people started a cult for Greg's eyebrows, like a Manson family thing. But that's a tangent, and I just cut you off. We'll save that. I mean,
what
keep
if,
it.
What
So-
if the
Keep
cult
that.
was all about farting and perioding on yourself, and they're just like, "We'll take you, and we love you, Jan. We think that's just beautiful."
It could be. Farting or perioding are just people that ruin their pants in different ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or is it
So
just period.
idea-
Day one,
So-
day one
soiling
cult.
pants.
The day one cult.
Oh, gross! I just realized why you called it that.
the idea I just had was, so Ted Bundy was working around in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he was.
And
He's handsome.
yeah, he's handsome.
Or was
and-
he? He was a handsome.
And
man, right?
he was handsome.
They all are to me.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What if when she was walking to school, that can be a guy that looked at her, and she was just like, "Oh, he's so handsome," and then walks to school. That could be the dude, maybe not a dude in her school, but Ted Bundy. And so later
And
he,
Ted's like, I
and-
don't care that you crapped your pants.
yeah,
period,
he's a
period,
fucking
crap.
because he's a fucking crazy murderer.
Yeah.
So like then when she runs away, he could find her. He sees her on the road.
So Ted Bundy,
This is the
at one point, Ted Bundy killed like a really, really young girl.
How old is Jan supposed to be right now? Like 14?
Jan, oh well, this girl's like 12. So but Ted Bundy did kill. Oh my God, he killed a lot of young teenagers before
Oh.
they were 18.
So
Jesus
this is
Christ.
this is
You're
appropriate
looking up the
appropriate
article right
reference
now?
then, right?
So yes, so okay, so if we make Jan, like if we make her 16, then she can go out and say, so she doesn't, she wants to change her name entirely. She goes by the name Nancy Wilcox, And at the very end of the episode, she meets a man named Ted Bundy, and that's when we see her walking up. Okay, that was just an idea. I just thought that'd be
So
funny.
you wanted to end with her like with the idea that she gonna be dead.
She's killed by Ted Bundy.
This is sending a very strong message about periods.
It's bad.
I didn't think about that part. I just thought about it's the
You get
70s,
your
Ted
period
Bundy.
and you get murdered.
Exactly.
It's red. That means blood. That means killed. That means murder. Ted Bundy. Okay, so she is out in the world running because she's just embarrassed and feels like she's ruined her entire life. So now she wants just to start a new life.
Right.
So where does she go and what does she do to adapt to this new life while at the same time her family gets wind of what's going on and they need to find her. So what does Jan do in the meantime? Is there anything from the show that you can think of?
I was gonna say, maybe she'd try to be an architect like her dad, and it wouldn't work out in a week.
She loves painting.
Painting. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, she loves painting.
She's painting and whining.
She loves painting and whining. Oh man, she's a great artist
She's a
already.
great artist.
She's an amazing.
So she
artist.
becomes a beatnik.
Yeah. So because the woman that played Jan in real life is like, she painted all the time. She actually showed her paintings off in galleries like in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, in New York.
So this is another thing where you'd be like, this is the real story.
Yeah.
Of the real Jan.
Eve Plum,
So
I think her name was.
It would be funny because she's young and naive for her to try to apply for a job as like a painter at lots of places.
You know what? That'd be great. So she leaves and she's like, I'm just going to become a painter.
Yeah.
And she just tries to apply for painting positions.
Yeah.
Like as a
painter. She gets like a job at a grocery store.
Yeah.
Painting those like 99 cents for lettuce.
You know it'd be really funny. So let's say she goes up in the class she does this in is her art class. Mm-hmm. And that's where she does that, and then her teacher tries to make it better by like, you're just doing like some postmodern expressionism in your pants, and then
This is a performance art.
yeah, and then Jan is just like, no, and then leaves.
Yeah.
She's just too embarrassed to
Yeah.
even give that to her. Yeah, I feel like that would be cool to do. It makes it in her art class so we can establish that she likes painting from the get-go.
Exactly.
And so when she leaves to find out something to do, she's like, you know what, I'm going to paint. I'm going to quit school, just become a professional painter now.
Right.
Go to New York. She could try to go to New York and just like see the art scene there. So what's happening in the 70s in the art scene?
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol, yeah, the factory.
Mm-hmm.
She winds up at the factory.
That's in the 70s?
And maybe they think that she is amazing because she farted and had her period. Like someone's there and they're just like, wow, that's like really meaningful, Jan. Like that's incredible.
You know
Andy
what?
Warhol's like, you should do that for 8 hours. Or didn't he have a movie that played for like 3 days?
Is he the one that like filmed people's faces while they were getting blowjobs and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're like, I love that guy. Great idea.
It was amazing. Groundbreaking.
I like that I just answered with like authority, and now I'm like, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure.
So
And we could look on the 70s.
I feel like that would be great, especially if Jan doesn't pack a lot of clothes, and one of the pants she brings are her period fart pants. And when she gets to New York and gets to the factory to meet Andy, she wants to put on different clothes, but she doesn't, because she wants to look presentable. But she realizes all she brought was this.
Oh my God.
And then Andy sees her pants, and he's like, "This is amazing."
Like,
Could it be
15
that?
minutes right here.
Let's say that she finds someone to take her in New York, because she can't just be like, I'm going to meet Andy Warhol right now. That doesn't make any sense. So she finds someone just on the street that is going to let them stay, which is horribly dangerous because it's the 70s New York City. But she does. And they just happen to be well connected. So let's say they have friends of friends and they're having a party that night. Andy shows up, stumbles into the room where she's staying in, and she's trying to put all her clothes away. He sees the pants and says, no, stop. Let me see these. What is this? And she's just like, it's my piece. or something like that. He's like, it smells like shit. How did you do that?
Yeah. He would be. I feel like that's. I agree with all of that except for trying to make it realistic.
She's
why?
just gonna be honest because she's very honest about how stupid
No. I mean the part where you're like. I mean the part like where you're saying like, oh, she wouldn't just meet Andy Warhol. Why not? Who that doesn't matter.
Because I like the idea of him discovering her so much.
No, he does. But she can just still go over there.
Okay, then why would she have her things? I think, so maybe if she still has all her things, has not found a place to live, stumbles into this party, it's at the factory.
Yeah.
And has her pants fall out of her small bag of clothes that she has while struggling to find something in her bag.
Yeah, so now we have to go back to the parents looking for her as she's being...
Can no one notice that she's gone for a long time?
I feel like this would be a long time right here. This would
be late 60s, early 70s.
Can it be like a week?
So this would...
It works, but it's TV.
Yeah, so that would work. Like how early 70s? Because this only went on... The first
Warhol
season was
shot
in
in
69.
Like 60, but
yeah, Valerie
like
Solon
Lou
has
Reed
shot him. Extreme feminist.
Maybe she hangs out with her. But that would have been like late 60s.
That's still the same because...
It says through 73.
Because
65.
Brady Bunch started in 69 and ended in like 74, 75.
Then that's perfect.
Yeah. So we can just say this is somewhere around there. Yeah.
Andy just got shot. She shows up.
Yeah.
And who gives a shit if it's not perfect? Yeah.
I know. Sorry. But we don't need so much fact checking. But
it helps because it still sets up the world because it's still like, oh, that could happen, you know?
At this point, she's adapting, right?
Yes, she's adapting.
Yes.
She's becoming used to being on the run. Andy accepts her period pants art, and now we check back in.
How about she has to make a lot of them now? He's like, I need more of these.
That would be really funny because he did replicate stuff, and she has to make a lot of period pants. Now we're really going off the rails.
She's not on her period, and she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
No,
she has to start killing chickens.
Plus, I feel like that's a great message because not only is she running away from like her body, now she's in the situation where she has to accept who she is entirely in order to become a better artist.
Yeah.
In quotations. Yes. She has to period all over the place.
All the time.
All the time.
To make all these beautiful pieces.
Yeah, to make these beautiful pieces.
And like and she's just like
I do think that would look I would love to see that
Mr.
visually.
Warhol, I just can't fart right now. And he's just like, well, eat the Brussels sprouts. He just gives her a whole bowl. She's just eating shit that makes you fart, just like trying her hardest.
You have to fart in
He's
period.
like, I don't hear you. And she can be like,
Yeah.
She can just like make little sounds with her mouth. I think it's coming along.
Yeah, she's putting turkey basters full of red paint up her vagina.
Gross.
I know. I'm like, And what if the pants are really specific? Like, she has somehow has to get them back. Like
The same.
Only Mom Brady knows where to get them,
kind of
or
like
does it really matter?
Sears catalog.
It
Yes,
could.
Sears catalog.
It
pants.
could because
she has to contact one of her siblings.
Yeah,
to be like,
no.
Give me some more of those pants.
Yeah, that could totally matter because we need a way for her parents to find where she is.
There you go.
So
who would she reach out to?
She would probably reach out. Let's say they're
Greg?
hand-me-down.
Peter?
They're hand-me-downs from Marcia.
Or from Peter.
I think she should call the maid.
That would be great. Alice.
I think she would call the maid.
Oh yeah, because Marcia could understand her because if she rejected her.
Yeah.
Because
Or
the
the maid,
maid,
Alice?
it's the maid, and she's not rich, and she'd be like, I feel like I can talk to you because you're not a rich blonde lady.
Who says this?
No, Jan, because that's why she reaches out to Alice, the maid.
Okay. Why can't she just reach out to Alice the maid
Because she's too embarrassed
friends?
of all the things that she's explained to her mother and her sisters that she's like, maybe Jan would know because Jan does the laundry. Jan's gonna know, and I'm not as embarrassed.
You mean Alice?
I mean, yeah. Alice is not gonna know, and I feel less embarrassed with Alice because she's just a maid.
And then Alice.
She's just a maid.
This is all very heartbreaking. Alice also gets killed by Ted Bundy at the end.
Oh, no.
So she contacts the family, trying to figure out where she can get more of these genes because these genes are important to what she has to make for Andy and for her art career.
I don't know why I was seeing slacks, but jeans. I like that.
Yeah, the family are now like, okay, we've got load up. We've got to get to New York. We got to get Jan back. She's only 17 years old. She can't be up there. It's very
Can Marcia
dangerous.
protest heavily, like because she doesn't want her to ruin her reputation as being a beautiful girl from a beautiful family.
But Marcia still like, despite all that, she still loves Jan, and
She loves Jan's, but but in this episode, I kind of want to more expose her for a total bitch that she actually is, because in the
She's a
episode that
bitch.
we watched with
And she's not that pretty.
she's really not. She's
She's
just
not.
okay.
She's okay.
And so when we were watching this episode with Jan and not being good at every single hobby that she's trying, Marcia's a bitch. She was just like, she's just not good at anything. And it's just like, wow, you're a cunt. And she's like, she's tap dancing and it's driving me crazy. She's just not good at it, Mom. And it's just like, and Jan comes up behind her and what does she say? What did she say, Tommy? She says something really catty, and I wish I could remember it, but it was really funny.
She says, no, Marcia's right, because I'm not good at anything.
And she says
Oh
it with
my
like a smile on her
God.
face, and it was very funny. But
Marcia-
yeah, because
Marcia could spend the
is a
whole
bitch.
episode still, like, even if she's in the car with the parents, being like, "What is a period?" You know, like she still doesn't know the whole.
So the family discovers that they need to go get Jan from New York.
Yes.
Marcia protests a little bit, and then they head up to New York, where Jan has to have made all of these awesome period blood pants, and she's presenting them because
Microphone up by
Because
Be-
the family has to interrupt it. Yeah.
it has to be. And so this is the moment where Jan has to pay for, basically getting what she wants. She got what she wanted, was to run away.
Mhm.
And now she's made an artist of herself. What happens at this thing? Her family shows up. She presents period blood fart jeans exhibit. And what causes it to make her pay, and what is her payment on this? So her internal need was to get out, make a name for herself as an artist. She gets that. What changes that
Well,
to make her grow?
at
Yeah.
this point, she's become disenchanted with it because she feels like because she does love art, according to the series, but this isn't the kind of art that she's passionate about because it's not real for her.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, it's real.
it's real.
It's
But
real.
so she's disenchanted with making an art that is just mass produced by her farting and perioding, and so she's not into it anymore. She's not showing that yet, and maybe the mom or one of the siblings comes up to her and just like, Jan, what are you doing? This isn't you. Why are you doing this? And she can kind of break that. Maybe that breaks her.
Or she would have
Like,
to
she's
choose.
like, You're right, Mom. This isn't me. I just want to come home. I miss everyone.
Or what if her family really celebrates and is like, "We love what you've done here, and it really seems like you found your place." And she has to be like, "Oh my God, I ran away from my family, and now they're like fine with it."
Oh my gosh. I like, so, because
Do you know
you
what I
can,
mean?
yeah, you
Like-
can actually do both of
Yeah.
those.
The-
So
Yeah.
she has like a disenchanted moment that she's made this mass-produced art that is just like
Just Banksy garbage.
Yeah, she's just like, wow, I
I think
can't.
it sounds great.
She's like, I wanted everything. I want like my art to be unique, but then I just make the same thing, and it becomes celebrated. She comes down. She's like down on herself about it. Her family gets there and sees it, and like, wow, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
this is great. Listen, stay here.
Yeah.
And she and let's. I feel like that conversation they should both be saying two different things, like, or meaning two different things. Like,
Right.
Jan is expressing her disenchantment, but what she means is, I want to come home. And they are expressing their love and admiration for what she does, while
Mhm.
saying,
I'm following you.
while basically being like, stay here, do what you clearly love.
And
Because
she's
they
like-
love her.
she's
Because
just
they
like,
love
"Oh,
her."
No.
And it's like one of the
she-
big misunderstandings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now this is like, I love how
Because
this
Jan
is both of your
constantly
things.
misunderstood.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and it fits well with the series because Jan is misunderstood again, and then her
And no
family
one cares to listen to her about it
Yeah.
at all.
and her family leaves her in New York.
Yeah.
Her family leaves, so now she has to. I feel like she has to.
And that's where I could see the point, like one of the siblings coming up and saying like
Yeah.
that type of stuff. It's like, what are you doing? Or you know, but then they still leave.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she's like left with that.
Yeah. One of the I do agree with one of the siblings, because if we explore that just for a little bit more, we can think about which sibling would say that to her. I don't think it would be Marcia. I think one of
Greg.
the brothers. You think
Greg.
Greg? You think
Father
Greg?
figure.
Is,
What if it's like no? I like when a young kid shows like Cindy.
Can
Cindy
if
or the
it's-
young boy.
If it's one of
The
the other
young
siblings,
ones.
can they just like look around at Andy Warhol's work and they can just look around and say, "This is stupid."
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wouldn't
What
like
if the
one of the
fuck?
young
This
ones.
is a fucking Campbell's soup can.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is this face done 4 times in a row? I don't understand. Jan, this is weird. This is awful. What are you doing here?
That's why like Cindy or
can't
who's
be
the little one,
happy
Bobby?
here.
Cindy or Bobby would be like, I think it's all stupid, and then just leave her with that or
Mhm.
whatever, right? Like
leave
they'd be
her
Like,
leave her with that. They basically express her unsaid sentiments,
mm-hmm.
like just out loud. They just say the truth, and then they leave. And now Jan is left she's left kind of feeling lonely in this room where people are celebrating her period fart blood art.
And Bobby's like, I think this is all stupid. And he's like, I fart my pants all the time.
Yeah.
And then like you should come
And,
home.
and then he shuffles off, and there's just a big dirty brown stain on his pants.
Just a pig pen, just trail of fart.
He's walking like he just got off of a horse because he's got like a freaking
Oh,
this is
no.
like stretching my limits.
he's got a
Come
freaking
on.
turd like hanging in the bottom of his
You
pants.
have like
He's
those harem pants that dudes are wearing right now, but it's actually just filled with shit.
Yeah. and there goes Bobby shuffling off.
Somehow no one has ever noticed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he's like,
When-
he may have poop in his pants,
When-
but boys, he wise.
Boys will be boys.
When he gets to the door, he shakes his pant leg and a turd plops on the ground.
Boys will be boys and shit their pants.
And then Andy Warhol
This is the
slips on
70s.
it. Andy Warhol slips on it, and poop gets in his gunshot wound. Okay.
Oh God,
That's enough of that.
gross. But okay, so
Lord.
how about she
Yes.
is at some point? How is she gonna get back? So she
So
realizes it.
I think she has a conversation with Andy.
There's one
and-
last pair of clean pants.
Yeah, there's one less pair of clean pants, and this is where she's having a conversation with Andy, and she's putting on. This is like our big our big moment. She's
Yeah.
putting on the clean
Yeah.
pants, and Andy's like, "All right, go ahead."
She be getting diaper rash.
Yeah.
Can she just be getting like horrible diaper rash so she's uncomfy
yeah, you know
inside
it.
and out?
You-
Like it's just all bad.
As we see her put on the pants, she's got horrible
Horrible
diaper rash.
diaper rash.
So
Oh my
she puts
gosh.
on the pants, and Andy's like, "Okay, go ahead, do it." But this is her moment. This is where she's either going to choose art or home. And the way we find out is that she doesn't fart period blood her pants.
Yes.
She just walks out with clean pants.
Yes.
Pants
Oh,
on.
this is actually.
Can she?
This
so
is
how
getting a
did
little
they,
arty.
did they
This
get?
is like
This is
could be
already
something. This
she-
could
so
really-
that's how we symbolize the choice.
Yeah, she
Right.
just puts on her pants and walks out.
She
the door.
puts on her clean pants,
Yeah.
and as
Or
Andy
she
waits,
doesn't do the pants.
yeah.
Because she has the pants on, right?
Yeah, she has the pants on.
Pants
and
on.
so we're waiting for
Diaper
her.
rash.
Yeah, we're waiting for her to fart period blood in them to make more art.
Can
and-
she like be on the stage, and she just has her pants on ready to go, and she just says, "You know what? I can't do this."
No.
And she just walks out. I
No.
would kind of like that because everybody's like anticipating. They're just
Yeah.
like, she's gonna.
She's like, you know what? Get your own period blood.
And she just, she just
Yeah.
walks out. I can't do this anymore.
That's exactly what we're saying.
Yeah.
Or maybe no.
Yeah.
You said she wouldn't say anything. I think it would be funny for her to have this whole monologue of like this, art being mass produced and how stupid it is, and no one in the crowd gives a fuck like about it. And
Or
so,
then it turns out the
and
microphone
someone,
isn't
someone
on.
can just yell, period shit your pants. And she's just like, I'm leaving. And she walks out.
So she gets out. And that's whenever she decides to go home.
Yeah. How about can she catch up to her family as they're leaving?
They can probably be there for a couple of days.
Or maybe she can catch up to them
they go
at
to
their
some, like, New
hotel when
York
they're
thing.
packing up their things the next day, or catching up to them to a airport or something.
Yeah,
and she's like, no, wait.
It's dramatic, and
It's gotta be,
we
You're
could say they're
shopping at
getting on-
Macy's trying on pants.
We could say we.
She's like, hey guys, just
if
files.
if they're like getting on a bus or something like super 70s or something like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
I just imagine seeing them like loading 70s luggage into the bottom of a bus.
Blue Samsonite, like
Yeah.
powder blue Samsonite.
Yeah.
Stuff. I see it.
And
I
then
see it.
and then Jan's like, wait for me, and they all turn around and they're like, Jan, and she's like, I'm coming home too, and she swishes her hair, and they're like, Jan, the pants, and she turns around and they're clean, and she's like, you are coming home, and they all hug and everything.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the Jan I know.
Yeah. And then they hug, and then they get on the bus, and it drives off into the sunset, and then we see the
And Marsha's like, told you can't do anything right.
yeah.
They
So
had-
I feel like we got it. I feel like
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
fine.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So let's
I
go.
want to see this made. We need
Yeah,
to,
this
like
needs to be a real
visually.
episode.
Yeah.
So let's go over the whole thing again. So Jan is in art class.
She's having a great day.
We start Jan in
She
art
sees
class.
Ted Bundy's not in this anymore.
Well, let's-
We
that-
took
we-
him
that
out.
could
Took
just-
him out.
Next
It
next
was gonna
episode,
get really dark.
we're gonna do.
We
So
can
yes,
do
we're
without
We're gonna
Ted
do a
Bundy.
Wonder
So she's
Years.
having a
Did you already
great
do a Wonder
day,
Years?
I haven't
and
done
We'll bring
Wonder
we'll
Years.
bring Ted into that.
Yeah.
she's having a
That's-
great day, and then she does this horribly embarrassing thing.
She fart period bloods in her pants. The teacher tries to make it better. She gets really embarrassed by it. She
I don't
doesn't
think anybody
want.
should try to make it better.
I think the teacher should. And
they
that
should.
because I feel like
Yeah,
the
because it's got a little bit of push and pull, right?
yeah
Look
yeah
at
because you
Why do you hate
I
Jan?
the
You
I
are being
don't. No, I don't think the teacher should say anything because I think she needs to be 100%
alone.
alone in this before she gets up to New York. I don't think anybody should try to make this better for her until she gets up to New York because I think it should be a huge revelation for her to be like, thing that she's confronted with, like, oh my God, acceptance? What? It's like, that's why I don't agree with the teacher part.
I disagree with that because that's not super Brady Bunchy. Like they deal with
Period farting
stuff.
isn't Brady Bunchy.
No, but I feel like
it's much more complex.
But that's also why we can't concede on so many points, and because we have to put elements of Brady Bunch in there.
I
Mhm.
completely disagree.
Okay,
I still completely
it's noted.
You're like noted, and I'm still writing.
This is my
Okay,
podcast.
So she goes home. She decides to talk to Marcia.
yeah,
She
she's-
doesn't talk to the brothers.
right.
But doesn't she? I think she should talk to the parents first.
Yeah, she'll talk to the parents. Yeah, she will. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What's
Because
why
I
first?
feel like, or maybe she should talk to Marcia first, because I'm just trying to think about where are her main sources of support coming from? Like,
Yeah,
okay, so
sister.
who's going to be the plan B in trying to make her feel better? So that's why I think her art teacher doesn't really make her feel better. No one at school makes her feel better. She's like, okay, but I know I can talk to my sister.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
would know
Sister
about
does not make her
periods.
feel
Yeah.
better. She goes to talk to her parents. They don't know how to make her feel better. They want to, but they don't know how.
Yeah,
So she leaves.
exactly.
Yes.
She's on the road trying to maybe she's hitchhiking.
She's going to be a painter.
She's gonna be a painter.
She's gonna be a painter.
police
She's like, I don't need school anyways.
the police see if she's a missing teen, and she tells them what happens, and they're like, "Oh no, keep going, keep going." They just send her on her way. Do not pick her up at all.
She gets out. She gets to New York City,
the Big
Mhm.
Apple.
the Big A,
Somehow hitchhikes there.
and then
That was my contribution there. I'm like, do you guys know that New York City was called the Big Apple?
the Big
You
Apple.
can use that.
Wow.
You can use
Wow.
it. Did you know that the Brady Bunch was assumed to be in like Los Angeles area?
Yeah, because their house is like really low to the ground. It looks kind of newish.
So Jane's
It's-
got a long
it's very
journey.
California
But I like
California
the
does.
absurdity of her just being like,
Yeah, yeah,
She gets-
And all of a
yeah.
sudden she's at the
Because
factory.
hitchhiking in the '70s was very safe.
it was very
Yeah.
safe. It was very It's safe now.
Everybody did it.
I hitchhiked over here.
That's why so many women
she gets
were
to New
murdered.
York where she meets Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol is like, I love your period blood pants.
Yes.
Make more of them. She feels accepted.
She's living at the
and
factory.
her body isn't disgusting.
So
you know
is that
what?
where she gets what she wants?
Not yet. No,
sorry,
she
I'm
gets
following along.
what she becomes the painter.
Right.
That's what she wants to run away, become a different person, become a painter. And what she wants is when she has that art gallery.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm following along on your wheel.
yes. So she meets Andy, where she learns about accepting who she is and her disgusting body, and and she period
Disgusting 16.
and she period blood farts all into some pants.
Yep. does
She
it a lot.
discovers that she needs a certain type of pants because Andy is like, no, I don't know what these pants are, but you need the original pants. She calls her family.
Right.
They're like, that's where you are, New York.
Or
and then she discovers what types of pants they are.
I don't want to forget that they haven't realized that she hasn't been there. How about Alice is just like, do you guys know that Jan is in New York? And they're just like, what?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around.
That's where one of them goes like, who?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jan?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Jan.
Yeah. Okay. And then the family decide to, all right, gather up. We're getting ready to go to New York, and then they all hitchhike to New York.
God. Are they really all going to
No,
hitchhike to New
I
York?
just
No,
think
but
that
it'd be great if
that's-
another family of 6 picked them up.
it's
God.
But
so- we're the Brady Bunch. Who are you? So they get to New York City, where they see Jan has period blood farted all across the latest this year's
Interview
in-season
magazine?
Guess jeans. Who knows? Whatever jeans they are.
Guess jeans were huge in 71.
So they get there. They see Jan's thing.
Yeah.
They see Jan's big old awesome thing.
Fans.
Jan is disillusioned by like the mass market thing that she just did. She just created this period blood pants. Just boom, 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 boom.
And having a period when it's not even her period time is like
just
creating an artistic crisis.
Yeah, she felt like there was
Yes.
barely any creativity on it.
Right. Is
Her
this episode
family
going to be called Womb Crisis?
womb crisis.
Womb
Yeah.
crisis. I kinda like
Brady
that.
Bunch womb crisis. And then her family are impressed by the people that are all like everyone over there loves it, so they're like, wow, we support you, this is great, we want you to follow your dreams, stay in New York. Jan is secretly just like, wow, I was hoping that this would weird you out, but I guess I'm going to be here and stay, even though she doesn't want to. She wants to come
And-
home.
Well, I don't think that her family would actually understand art. They're so vanilla. They're kind of a Thomas Kincaid type of family. So I feel like they should kind of be like, well, I don't understand it, but I just think it's great that you're having so much fun
yeah.
up here.
Yeah.
Just
Totally.
like a little bit condescending.
Well, they would understand popularity.
They understand popularity and success, but they are. Let's not at all
let's not
think
kid
like they
ourselves.
understand anything that's avant-garde or modern art or anything at all like that.
Yeah.
So okay. So they tell her that she kind of like they basically have two different conversations. They're saying two different things,
Yes.
but somehow agreeing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love
then
it. I love it.
and then they separate. What's the little boy's name? Bobby.
Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby.
Babby. That's that's what they
Bobby
call
is
him in
like-
Michigan.
Bobby is like, I think this is stupid, and then he leaves, and he's got a big turd flopping in his pants.
No. God.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, oh my goodness.
And I think that's my favorite part. I'm gonna
Yeah.
write.
Sure.
The potty
and-
humor.
And then they're
only do
like,
period
they're
humor.
like, all right, gang, let's get out of here. Let's get back to California. And then,
Ugh.
and then, what happens? Oh yeah, so Jan is there, ready to
Ready to do
continue,
her thing.
ready to do
Last
more.
pair of clean pants.
Last pair of clean pants. Andy Warhol is like, all right,
And Andy Warhol's like, that's a good idea, limited edition.
Yeah.
To your next thing.
Yeah.
But you got to make this one real blood.
We gotta do this one up real big. All right, do it big for me, Jan.
He's a talk just like
big
that.
for me, Jan.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do
Do
it.
it big for me, Jan.
Do
That's
it big.
exactly.
Do
how
it
he used to
big
talk.
for me, Jan.
You are this. You are now.
Yeah.
Do it big. And she puts on the jeans. We see her just rashed butt and
Diaper rash.
yeah,
And her
this
thigh chafing.
the chafing, like as she's putting it on, there's so much chafing, like it's basically just like it's kind of snowing in the jeans as she's trying to cum them up,
Oh, gross.
and it's so red
God.
and
It's my body.
I know.
There's
I'm
kinda
literally.
like-
I have like sympathy pain.
yeah, there's kind of like it's
Like-
kind of like oozy a little bit on one thigh.
It's gotten infected from all of the poop gas
Yeah. Yeah.
and chunk blood.
Yeah, and that makes
The
Andy
lining of her
Warhol.
uterus.
Yeah, I was gonna say the uterine lining.
And Andy loves it. He loves it because whenever she takes off her pants, he can smell her, and
Can
he's
he just
like,
be like,
"Oh,
"Art
I
is
love,
pain,
I
Jan."
love the smell your art creates on your body."
Oh, that's
And-
disgusting.
Oh, if I had a
It's
dollar for
horrifying.
every time I heard that in real life, I gotta tell you.
And as she gets ready to do it, she decides no, she's not going to, and she walks off stage, and
Can that guy still yell out? Because I really like the idea of that guy yelling out after her giving like her speech about this isn't right, this isn't real art,
yeah,
this isn't art.
this is
Her self-righteous
yeah.
speech, and I like that. Someone shouting out and telling her to do it anyway.
What does he say again?
He would say something probably on the lines of
What did you say? the
shit
first
your period out or pour your
Okay.
period
Okay,
out.
yeah. Yeah, there you go.
I was like, you had it a minute.
She
Yes,
just-
yes, yes.
She sighs and
Yeah.
walks off stage.
And then we see her family throwing their throwing their old Samsonite luggage in the bottom of a Greyhound, and as soon as they get ready to leave, there comes Jan in her clean pants, and they're like, "Jan," and she's like,
That's
"I
my
wanted
Jan.
I wanted to come home," and then they're like, "Oh," they all hug, and
And can her mom be like, Jan, your pants are dry?
Yeah.
After they're like all hugging, and
Yeah.
she just randomly, accidentally like feels her pants.
yeah,
She's like,
Yeah.
I know, Mom.
yeah.
That's my Jan. Just
I've decided to
gross.
I've decided to plug up my period because, unlike what Andy Warhol thinks, I am disgusting. And then she,
and I am disgusting, and I should be ashamed for being a woman.
no,
That's my Jan.
no,
That's funny, actually.
yeah.
Her mom says, "That's my Jan." After all,
That's
it
my
is the
Jan.
70s. It is
That's
the,
my.
Yeah, or
Jan.
she
the
could be,
70s.
or she could be like, I thought you guys wanted me to stay be an artist, and then the parents are like, we don't even know what that is. You're like, we're just
Oh,
doing
honey,
whatever.
we don't understand art.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, we didn't even know.
And then they drive off into the sunset, and that's it. And we
Yeah,
Wrote an episode.
we've written an episode of the Brady Bunch.
a quality episode, a
Yeah.
thoughtful,
Yeah.
thoughtful,
Lessons
bodily
to be learned.
Thoughtful episode with themes of body acceptance and
Mhm.
art, and
Mm.
that's
Creative
it.
path,
Oh yeah,
The artist
creative
way.
path. Yeah, the
Yeah.
artist way.
and Andy Warhol
Yeah.
awareness.
Honestly, every young girl should listen to this podcast, I think, just to know how her life's probably going to go down.
Right.
Yeah, this is what's gonna happen to you.
What would the modern day factory be to escape to? There's just not that.
Mm-mm.
It's probably YouTube.
You get all mad at your parents. You're like, I'm going downstairs.
Yeah.
YouTube.
It's
And I'm still
Snapchat.
using your Wi-Fi.
It's getting people to subscribe and pay you on Snapchat.
Yep.
Yep. Is there still Snapchat?
Yes.
So yeah, we did it though. We wrote an episode of the Brady Bunch. Yay!
3
Yay.
people.
Yay!
It's a story
Good job.
about a girl who, period, poops herself.
Good old Jan.
Good old
Cool.
Jan. All right.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you like what you hear, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, all that good stuff you know how to do. It'll make a big difference to the show. And follow Bridgette and Sara. Their social media stuff is in the description of this episode. And come back next month as we perform a new fake episode of The Addams Family for you. I cannot wait for you guys to hear that one. I know I say that every time, but every time I'm excited. I just like doing the show.
Okay, so Happy New Year, and see you in January. Bye.